Are we recording? Okay. Hey guys, this is Jess Dammers here with BoardGameGeek TV, and I am here with
Justin Gary.
And
Gary Weiss.
All right, and we're taking a look at Ascension, Storm of Souls, and Return of the Fallen. So go ahead.
Awesome, yeah, this is really exciting. Last year we were here, we were able to show off Ascension, the base game we released. Since then, now we've had 2 expansions, Return of the Fallen, which has been in stores for a while, and you should check it out for sure. But the main thing I want to talk about today is Ascension Storm of Souls, which you can't get right now, I'm sorry, unless you're here at the show. This is the first day we've had it. In fact, I didn't have it in my hands until last night at 11 p.m.
Really?
German customs can be challenging
That's
sometimes.
what everyone keeps saying.
Yes, it's very difficult, but it's here, and we're very excited about it. The game looks gorgeous. We have this really cool looking board, brand new board, new box. Let's show off the cool
There's
box
the box.
here.
Cool box. Let's see,
Purple.
we're on this one. Ooh.
So I'll talk a little bit about. Whoop, no, I knew that was going to happen.
That was my fault.
It's all right. It's
Don't
all right.
worry about it.
So we're at basically the basic mechanics of Ascension. Hopefully a lot of people are familiar with at this point. It's a deck building game. So you start with a basic deck of cards. In this case, 2 militia and 8 apprentices. Those of you who are fans of the original game will notice we've actually changed the art in the expansion. So we have all new art, all new cool looking cards. Let me get these fellas out here. And then you get, over the course of the game, you acquire better cards for your deck, and you use those cards to beat monsters and earn honor. These are the pretty shiny little beads here. These are victory points. That's how you win the game.
They are quite shiny.
Yes. Some of the innovations for Ascension are that we, in addition to having cards that are sort of always around, the main game takes place in the center row here, where cards are flipped up from a shuffled deck. Whenever you buy one of them or get rid of one of them, a new card comes up to replace it. So it's always changing, and every game is different. And there's a lot of different strategies that you have to adapt to based on what you're doing and based on what your opponents are doing. Because if I know you're after a certain strategy, I might try to take that card just to keep it away from you. So this changes us up from a lot of the other deck building games that are out there. The new things that have come out in Return of the Fallen and in Storm of Souls, Return of the Fallen introduced the Fate mechanic, which are this little black box here. Fate cards just have an effect as soon as they enter the center row. So as soon as it flips up off the deck, something new happens and you have to react to what's going on and changes the state of the game right away.
What does this one do?
This one actually lets every player take a card from their discard pile and put it back on top of their deck. So it plays into the theme of Lifebound. You'll notice we have the different colors. Lifebound, Void, Mechana, and Enlightened, which is not on the board right now, but you can see there.
Okay.
They all have different strategies. They all have different philosophies. And that actually plays into the types of things they do, but it also plays into one of the really cool new mechanics in Storm of Souls. That's event cards. That's this awesome one here. This is one of my favorite art pieces from the set. So event cards, when they flip off the center deck, go into the special event area. They also have a game rule that changes the way the game is played. So in this case, defeating monsters gains you extra honor. So because the Void and what it represents is one of the factions rising to dominance. One of the cool things we did with our game is there's a whole story arc behind Ascension. The first game, Chronicle of the Godslayer, you'll never guess what you were trying to do. You were trying to kill a god. And Return of the Fallen was that god coming back and trying to seek vengeance. Over the summer, we had a tournament at Gen Con where somebody was actually crowned the Godslayer. They won the tournament, they became the Godslayer, and they're actually going to be introduced as a card in one of our future sets. So it's kind of a cool way to become part of the story. Storm of Souls takes place after that event, and now the factions are kind of fighting with each other a little bit. They're trying to see who's going to be the new dominant force, and there's this new threat rising, the sort of souls that are kind of attacking, and a little bit vague threat that we're going to explain more as things go on. So I talked a little bit about the main mechanic of the set, which is events. We've also introduced a cool new monster that's always available, the Fanatic. You love the art, you know you do. The Cultist is one of our favorite art pieces. He's kind of a crazy looking guy, is always around to be defeated. The Fanatic falls in that line. It costs a little bit more to defeat, but when you do, he is a trophy monster, and that's the other major mechanic of the set. Normally, whenever you defeat a monster, it gives you a reward right away. You beat it, it does something nasty to your opponents, you get some honor. Trophy monsters, when you beat them, you put them in front of you, and then you can get rid of them to get their effect whenever you want. So it's a little bit more strategy, a little bit more options to kind of decide when you want to use a certain effect. So having a new always available card, gorgeous board, gorgeous art, new card type and events, and the trophy monsters really changes up the dynamic of the game far more than even Return of the Fallen did. We really felt like, you know, with Ascension, Chronicle of the Godslayer, we tried to keep things as simple and streamlined as possible, kind of make it very easy for people to learn. Return of the Fallen, we kind of flourished a little bit, showed some new things. Storm of Souls, we really kind of blow it out, and for the Board Game Geek crowd in particular, who can really get into the depth of strategy and a lot of the different things going on, I think you guys are really going to love it. So if you happen to be at Essen, you can pick it up right now. If not, we'll have it in stores at the end of November.
End of November.
So this is really exciting. Also, just, you know, you can see probably part of this from the graphics here, but the cards and the board and everything look just gorgeous. We kept the same artist, Eric Save, who's really refined his style and really done something here that
really cool.
I absolutely love. So new art on everything. So even for the fans that already have, you know, the always available cards and the starting cards, they get something new. And the cards in the center row and everything are just really, you know, it's taking it a step up. So super proud to have it here. Really glad to be able to show it off on Board Game Geek. And then one of the other things I'm really, really excited to show off is the amazing iPad app. This is where we'll tag in Gary here, who did a fantastic job designing it, and we'll let him talk about his beautiful, beautiful work.
So what we have running here is
if you want, you can set it down. Yeah.
There's a build of the.
Hold on. Let's make sure, and he's going to zoom in on it.
Zooming in.
Okay.
So here we have running the Return of the Fallen. It's an early build. This should be available next month as an in-app purchase.
Whoa.
It's got all the new cards with a lot of new artwork to go with it. We'll let Justin play first.
Oh boy. All right. Why are you going to let me play first? I can't buy anything here. So one of the great things about this app, if you haven't seen it, there's multiple ways to play. You can expand the cards and play them. You can drag them out. You can just hit the play all button. Tracks your resources for you. So I'm going to kill the cultist here by dragging it over to the void. I'm interested in buying a mystic, so I'm just going to hit acquire here. I've spent all my resources, so I'm done.
Now it's my turn, and I get to do the same. Start up, I have 4 runes instead of Justin's 3, and so I can purchase the Reclamex and drop it into my.
One of the things I love about the app in general is it's a great way to introduce your non-gamery friends into the gamer world. It's you know, Ascension, I kind of always boasted it's the fastest deck building game to play out there. You can play it in half an hour or less. Now that it's on the iPad and an iPhone, that number's down to 5 minutes. I mean, it's amazing how quickly, once you get the hang of it, you can just kind of continue to play and burn through it. And so now every day we get asked. People love the app, they love what's going on with it. Every day we get asked, well, when is Return of the Fallen coming out? And so here we get to actually play with it. We showed it off. The Incinerator booth has had it on display all weekend. And so people here have gotten a chance to kind of check it out and play it early. And so it's going to be available for everybody else very, very soon.
Wow.
Next month.
And how much is it going to be?
It'll be in-app purchase, probably around $4 US. I don't know if that's $3 Euro price, but in that price tier.
That's affordable.
In-app purchase.
Yes.
The app
That's very
supports.
affordable.
I like if people spend $40 for the game and $30 for the expansion, and they can spend $5 for the app and $4 for the expansion. It's a pretty amazing bargain.
That's a pretty good deal. All right.
Yeah, the app supports network play, both real-time play against people and asynchronous play, where you can take a turn and then turn it over to your friend that you're playing against, and they can take their turn several hours later, and over the course of several days, you finish out
I love that feature.
Yeah, I have 8 ongoing games with friends of mine around the world that we just kind of will take turns and pass back and forth.
And it'll be available on the iPhone as well, or just
iPad?
iPad?
On the iPhone as well. I play it the most on the iPhone because that gives us a feel for what it's going to be like on that tiny screen, and that's the device that most people carry in their pocket, so it gives them a way to play the game.
So that's why it's nice that you can blow up the card.
Yeah, exactly.
With a little screen.
It really helps there. And we'll be including additional features either with Return of the Fallen or shortly after with an update, online timers for games so that you can choose the length of the time that you want a game to take.
Yeah, those slow players you have to deal with sometimes. It's like, hey, let's go, get moving.
Especially with Words for Friends. I can't tell you how many of those I have open.
So more to divide whether you want to play a game currently in real time or asynchronously, because people get matched up sometimes and not both looking for the same experience. We're going to get a rematch button in there so that if you're playing a game against somebody, you want to play a game instead of having to track them down.
That's the best.
Are there leaderboards?
Leaderboards, not yet, but that'll be coming very soon. And then
good question.
We'll be adding in more player profile information, so you can start to see how many wins and losses you have. Go and look at other players, friend with them within the app, and a couple of other of the features that we didn't include.
Yeah, one of the things we've loved, the Board Game Geek crowd has been awesome. They've been running tournaments. I got to play in one of them, and I did pretty well, but somebody beat me down. I'm ready for a rematch. I really wanted that rematch button there. So it's been really cool to see, and now I know they've been requesting all these kinds of features, and it's going to be awesome to finally get to roll some of those out with Return of the Fallen or soon thereafter.
Right.
We should be looking probably early next year to get the Storm of Souls included in the app and a number of other higher level features that people have been requesting. So we're going to continue to support this as long as Justin is putting out product. We're going to do what we can to get the game running.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
And my last question is there any plans for the Android market?
Next year, at some point. You know, once we're still exploring the space, haven't started work on it yet, but we know people want it, and we're going to do what we can to get it there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Very cool.
This was a lot of fun.
All right. That's it. That's that.